I can remember a time when I had some really big problems. I was always working on operational stuff. I felt my people were never doing things right, aka my way. I was scared to go on vacation or leave the office or the store for any amount of time. When I did delegate, I felt like it didn't make my life any easier because I was still always overlooking and overseeing that delegation, which just never actually took anything off my plate. It just made more work. That's because I wasn't delegating effectively. Then one day I had an epiphany. I realized that I had gotten to where I was in my career, getting up to management and leadership because of all the wonderful and gracious managers that I had worked for that had delegated to me. They trusted me and they taught me things so that I could grow in my role. And I owed it to my team to do the same thing for them. When I got serious about delegation, I had less anxiety, my team was more engaged, and my work productivity increased as well because I was able to work on higher level tasks and objectives. Today, we're going to review a few roadblocks to delegation, 5 key points to delegating effectively, and a big mistake to avoid when delegating at the end. Before we get into the 5 keys of delegation, here are a few roadblocks. Tell me in the comments if any of these sound familiar to you. It will take longer. So we feel sometimes that by delegating, it will take longer for that task to get done because we can do it really quickly and just get it done like that. Another one is maybe we want to feel important. So maybe it's a task that only we know how to do, or we do it extra good, and it gives us this sense of accomplishment and achievement when we do that task that nobody else can do. And maybe it's your favorite thing to do. Maybe it's something you really enjoy, something you look forward to every day, every week, every month. So those kinds of thoughts are things that could be roadblocking your delegation. But moving past those roadblocks and really getting serious about delegation can just skyrocket your productivity, increase your team's engagement, open up yourself for higher level, tasks and objectives that are going to make your job or your work be even better. So here are 5 keys to delegation. Number 1, know what to delegate. Look at your task list and see what kind of things that do you have planned to do that you could have somebody else do instead. Now, there are definitely things that should not be delegated, like performance reviews, for example. Those things we need to do ourselves. But have a look at your list, see what is needing to be done, and see what you can hand off to somebody else. Step 2, use your team's strengths and goals. Now that you know what you're going to be delegating, it's time to decide who you're going to delegate it to. Have a look at your team and decide, is there somebody on your team that might be able to do an even better job of this task than you? Also, look at your team's career objectives, whether it be within the company you're at now, or maybe they have future goals and plans as well. And maybe there's something they can do that will help them to grow in their career aspirations. Delegating will show your team that you trust them and that you want them to grow. Number 3, define what is expected and provide resources. Dumping is not delegating. We need to get together with this person and we need to define things like, what does good look like? What kind of outcome are we looking for? Times and deadlines, tools and resources needed, and maybe some checkpoints along the way if they're very new to this task so that they have an opportunity to ask you questions, or you can redirect if it's like really urgent. The temptation here to micromanage can be huge. Make sure you're focusing on what needs to get done, but not how it needs to get done. Number 4, make space for learning. Be open to new ways of doing things. Be patient while people learn. Of course, at first, they are going to be slower than you. It's going to take more time. We need to build that in. But as they practice, as they learn, as they make mistakes and grow, they will get faster and faster. And hopefully, the goal is to become just as good or even better than when you did it. Number 5, give and get feedback. So now the task has been completed and it's time to review with this person. Was the project not up to standard? Then it's time to give some feedback and let them know why. If the project was up to standard and they did a good job, we also need to tell them why it was done so well, show appreciation for their hard work, and also we need to make sure that we give them all the credit for everything that was done. Either way, once we've shared our feedback with them, it's time for us to ask them for some feedback on how we did. So we can ask them things like how we supported them during this project, Were the instructions clear? Did they have everything they needed? And just was there anything we could do differently to learn from for next time? I just took down my whole video setup and I forgot to record what the big mistake was. I just want to add this in for you because it's definitely something you don't want to do. You want to be sure not to use delegation as punishment. And what I mean by that is there might be something in your store, not such a pleasant task to do. Maybe it's like cleaning the staff washroom or something like that. And there's someone on the team that just works really hard and does such a great job of it. We want to make sure we're not always asking the same person to do those kind of tasks that aren't like the most fun in the world. Let's just keep an eye out for that. If any of this helped you today, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.